The lights are counting down. 10 lights as Teddy has got a jump start. And we are away. It looks like Tuman's got a good start compared to Scarborga, as Jaylee Menz is now trying to go down the inside of SLR Dolphin. They make a bit of contact, but Menz muscles his way through. Further back, Leah's looking a bit racy as well. They're trying to go around the outside of Dolphin. You can see Jack Massey are also having a go at each other as well. Great racing so far as Hicklin has dropped way back on his soft compound tyres. It's a bit of a surprise. I thought they'd be quite good at the start of the race, but apparently not. Further back, any major changes, any major incidents? Lofty and Teddy battling it out. Oh, as Teddy does make a bit of contact with Lofty, and that means that Drastic Blaze is going to go try and make the move on him. Oh, suddenly Zaki's Beast appears there as well. That is about 900 different cars battling it out. And Blaze is still trying to continue the battle with Lofty, but cannot get through on the Alpha Tauri driver. Lofty causes a little roadblock here initially, it must be said. As I think someone's had an off, I don't know who that was. I've definitely heard a lot of shunting of cars with each other. But anyway, Drastic Blaze now. He was attacking Lofty, but now he's defending from Zaki's Beast, and they are going to go side by side here through the bottom of the corner. Lots of little love taps here, but it does look all well and good. Oh, Zaki's Beast goes very deep and does make a bit of contact. The Drastic Blaze is more Lofty. Looks like he sustained a bit of lap 1 damage. And Zaki's Beast does get past Drastic Blaze, although Lofty's damage, well, it means that there's about a 3-second gap between the top 6 and the rest. As the field, the grid order is just sorting itself out a bit. Then we've got a bit of a picture of who's where. Looks like Tuman's leading Scarborga in 2nd place, and Jaylee Menz in 3rd. Tuman's opened up a pretty nice gap so far. For those Scars using quite a lot of his battery to try and get back in the DRS of him. Oh, as Tuman's had a little bit of a wobble there. Definitely going to kind of excite Scarborga a bit and potentially mean that he could think about having a move at some point. Further back, Leah and Menz are going to be battling it out. Leah's going to try and go around the outside of Jaylee Menz. Can he hold it? No, Menz shuts the door and says, no thank you, you're not getting past. But Massey has got past Dolphin, speaking of overtakes. And up into P5, as Tuman sets the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, as he is the race leader. Teddy is now serving his drive-through penalty. And Hypers, I believe, has had an off. I don't know whether he's had any contact with someone, or whether he's just lost it by himself. It's very easy to do in the final corner here. But he is now down into the 14th place, and he's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to salvage any points from this race. It does look like Tuman's quite comfortable here. Gap's now 2.2 seconds to Scarborga. The Scar's holding his own in 2nd place as well. As Leah, after having a little bit of a shaky moment on the exit of the penultimate corner, is now trying to close up to Scar as well. As Hypers has always had a big off. And yeah, that's just, yeah, hot tyres and nothing he can do really. Anyway, there looks to be a bit of a timing glitch between Menz and Leah, so, no, with Menz I think specifically I should say. As he's showing 1 minute and 34 seconds ahead of Scarborga, which just isn't true. But Toulon now has a 3-second lead, and it was looking like a bit of a cakewalk, it must be said, for the Red Bull driver, or the reserve driver, at the moment. But anyway, top 8 below him seem to have kind of settled themselves down a little bit. There being a bit of a DRS train kind of starting to form. Although JD Menz isn't really pressuring Skarborger too much. Kind of just forming his own train as well. I do think Menz has lost the DRS to Skarborger, and that is going to allow Leah to potentially think about making a move. He's got quite a lot of battery, does the Haas driver. But unless he gets some kind of mad overspeed at the end of this straight, it does not look like he is close enough. And yet thinks better of it and does not make a move. Although I don't think that move is going to be too far away. Could maybe happen on this straight if he's brave enough. There's a doable overtaking spot is turn 1. It's yellow in sector 3, and that is Hypers once again. Yeah, anyway. A driver who must be kind of licking his lips a little bit in P5 is Massey F1. Good start as the position changes will show. Up 3 positions is Massey. He's looking to make it potentially 4 or even 5 as Menz goes very wide. There, it's so easy to do in the middle sector, and that's going to cost him quite a bit when it comes to his battle with Skarborger and SLR Leah. All about this one corner here now, as Menz really needs that DRS, but again I don't think he's got it. Leah is a bit closer to them last lap, so the Haas driver potentially be thinking about making a move, using a lot of his battery. I think he knows that he doesn't want to be under threat from Massey, and he's going to try it around the outside again. Again, Menz forces him this time completely off the track, and now Leah's going to have to play defensive as Massey's round his outside. But Massey has to back out of it as Leah has the inside line. As we continue on with the race, SLR Leah is still just about keeping Menz well and truly occupied. The gap is about 2-3 tenths. You can just see from how close he is that he's frustrated and wants to get past. As Menz goes very, very deep, and I think this could be his opportunity, maybe Leah. Menz running relatively well, but is kind of making a few mistakes. It does definitely have a decent bit of pace. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I don't know what that's for. Maybe from Hypers. But anyway, Leah versus Menz part 3. He's going to try to move around the outside once again. But to be honest, I don't think he's close enough. Yep. Menz shuts the door once again. And once again, Massey is trying to go around the outside. Has he made it this time? Ooh, they're going to have to go side. They're going to have to go side by side into turn 1. But only it does look to have the position, although Massey is still there on the inside. And he's going to go down the inside. Giving each other a decent bit of room here. Leah does look out for position, but does Massey have the traction? Leah has a little wiggle, but they do avoid contact. Massey is now on the outside. This is great racing between the two of them, but Leah does have the inside line. They're both trying various different karting lines to try and get through each other. But it looks like Leah has the position. As SLR Jack is in the pits, I wonder whether he got a bit of damage, Jack. As he's way behind Lofty and Hicklin. They of course pitted quite early on. The damage of their own. But anyway, another yellow flag, and I think that is drastic delays had a bit of a spin. But anyway, back to Leah, Menz and Massey. Leah is using a lot of his battery, and he's going to try again. He's got a lot more overspeed this time. Is he going to make the move stick? He's trying to keep it around the outside. Menz does give him a bit of room this time. And Leah does make the move stick. That is a great move from Leah, although maybe Menz is going to have to go back into turn one. He's using a bit of his battery. Is Menz. But no, not quite close enough. Now it's Massey's turn to try and have a look and try and get past Jamie Menz. So just seen OG James 96 work his way up into P7, battling it out with LSW Legend 44. It's a great fight, this one as well, actually. I think Dolphin must have had an off because he was ahead of the pair of them. Qualified P3, obviously, Dolphin. But Legend does keep that position. And Massey and Menz, well, they have history dating back just to the last race, where they were fighting for the lead, and Massey was on the receiving end of an incident. The stewards deemed that was J.D. Menz's fault, so you can imagine that there is no love lost between the pair of them, as ultimately the incident meant that they both lost the shot at the win. But anyway, Massey was not close enough, although J.D. Menz completely outbrakes himself. Although he's still there, and just about gets away with that. I think that's his first lap without DRS. No, with DRS I should say, but he must be running no racing line. Looking at he's missed his braking point a few times, and yeah, that's what can happen. Although he gets away with it this time. As further back, OG James 96 is trying on another move on LSW Legend, being very respectful towards each other, these two, and Legend keeps the position. As meanwhile, Leah is closed up onto the DRS of Scarborger. Toomans looks relatively comfortable up front, it must be said, so far. Scar certainly could come under threat from Leah at some point, although Leah has not got DRS this time around. Potentially open Menz up for maybe a move on Leah as well. I think Massey must have had a bit of a mistake out of that little snail section before the main straight, as well he's pretty much lost DRS on Menz himself. But anyway, is anyone going to pit now? I think it is probably too early for a pit stop. You can make Harsglass to the end quite comfortably from here, but the undercut won't be that powerful initially. As Leah, well, he was about a second back on Scarborger, but he's now only 3/10 back. Scar must have made quite a big mistake in the penultimate corner, or the first or second corner. as he's now certainly looking like he's under pressure from Leah in Skarborger. Both have a similar amount of battery at the moment, so potentially be a simple DRS pass if he gets close enough. Leah. Although I don't think it will happen this lap, it must be said. He is going to be within that DRS though. As I say that, he makes a big mistake and he's just lost it. And Jaylee Men's behind is sitting with 100% battery, so maybe he's going to try and capitalise on Leah's mistake that he just made there. He's going to see that your light flashing. And definitely is thinking about making a move. I think it's going to happen at some point. Unless Leah can get past Skarborger ASAP. Still no one from this top group has pitted yet. So kind of just riding out the medians for as long as they possibly can, really. Potentially one or two of them could try and go on the soft compound tyres at the end of the race. Zach is Beast and SLR Teddy, I think, about having it out. And Zach is Beast, the driver that is ahead. Been a relatively clean race so far, it must be said. Seems to have been a few spins, but nothing more than that. Is what we like to see. Scar again goes quite deep, but again Lee has made a little bit of a mistake, but he is going to be within the DRS of Skarborger. So finally he doesn't need to use as much ERS to defend from JD Menz. Instead he uses quite a bit to potentially get close enough to Skarborger to make a move on him, but it doesn't look like it's close enough. One of these drivers I think will probably be thinking about the undercut now. As Tuman stays out. What about Scar? Does he come in? Nope. Does Lear come in? Nope. Does Menz come in? Nope. Does Massey come in? Nope. None of them come in. Very interesting situation here. The Dolphin has now decided to come in, and he's going to be the first driver, other than those who have sustained damage, to come into the pits for a set of hard compound tyres to take the end of the race. Interesting to see where Dolphin resumes, actually. I think he's been jumped by Hicklin himself, and is he going to be jumped by Lofty? He is. That's a cracking stint from Lofty to be able to get ahead of Dolphin there. But anyway, I do think that might signify the start of the pit stops. SLR Lee is using a lot of battery here, and he's going to try and make a move on Skarborger, it looks like. He wants to be ahead of him before they think about pitting. And he's trying it down the inside. Skarborger did not defend the inside, and oh, he's made contact with Leah. That is a real shame. As Tuman's coming to the pits, covering off the undercut, but yeah, I mean, they made a slight bit of contact with each other. I'm not really sure whose fault that was, and they both had to go into the pits because of it. Although Leah's completely missed his braking point going into the pits. And it's all gone wrong as there's a safety car as Skarborger sped into the pit lane. Safety car certainly mixes things up. Does that potentially mean Tuman could get undercut? I don't know why a safety car's being called there, because, well, no one really retired. just Leah hitting the barrier. as Jack Moore's got past ARL Tooman under safety car here, so don't know whether Tooman will be too happy about that one. Probably be clipping that, because that's certainly going to lose him a bit of time. The likes of Jaylee Menz and Massey F1, who do need to pit, but are going to be able to have that pit under the safety car. As I'm just going to have a look at the gap to leader. It is 21 seconds, and a safety car pit stop, I think, will lose you a bit less than that. So if Menz and Massey play their cards right, they could potentially jump Tooman here. OG James 96 and Jack Moll CGFC surely have to pit now. As will Menz and Massey, obviously. This Menz is coming into the pits now. Massey does closely follow, as does Barlow. And as does LSW legend, OG James 96 and Jack Mould CGFC. Tooman obviously continuing as he pitted last lap. But has he lost his lead? It's going to be close on pit exit. It's going to be really close on pit exit. But Jaylee Menz has taken the lead. So all of Tooman's hard work in the first stint has pretty much just come down to nothing, as a safety car that was called really at the worst possible point for him has meant that he has been overcut by Jaylee Menz, who served his entire stop under the safety car. Now that is certainly an interesting one. Not sure Tooman would be too happy, but he has had good pace. And he's now got to show that by trying to get past Jaylee Menz again. Certainly look like the class of the field, but now race on. And of course, watch out for OG James 96 on the medium compound tyres. They will easily be able to make the end from here. As what lap are we on? We are on lap 14. Yeah, they'll definitely make the end from here. And James will potentially be quicker than all the guys ahead of him, as they're on the hard compound tyres, the first few laps at least. Could maybe be with a shot of a podium even. As now suddenly SLR Hypers is back in the race. He's been last by a country mile pretty much this entire stint, but now is given a bit of a lifeline, and can he show that he's got a bit of decent pace? Maybe do something decent on these mediums. Is anyone going to pit multiple times under the safety car? Perhaps go on to a new set of mediums or something like that. SLR Lofty is. Pretty smart call from him, I think. Actually, no, he's going to go on to a set of softs. Try and take those to the end of the race. Interesting call, but if he has the tyre wear, maybe be able to do it. Certainly bold, though. Certainly very, very bold. But anyway, after losing position, obviously, to SLR Leah being overtaken by him, and generally looking out of the race for the lead relative to ARL Tooman at least, It is Jaylene Menz who is leading this race. Tooman obviously in second place. And Massey F1 in third position. Barlow's now suddenly back in fifth as well. Let's look at the position changes, and the main gainers are Jack Mull from last to 8th. Up 9 positions. And LSW Legend having a great race up 9 himself. But anyway, I expect the safety car to come in either this lap or the next lap. I don't think it's going to come in this lap. Unless Hypers catches just in time. He might do, actually. No, I don't think he will. So the safety car will be out for another lap. So I'm going to follow Hot Lofty here, as I am intrigued whether he's going to pit again. No, he's not. He's committed to those softs. Now this is an incredibly difficult race to call. Will Menz be able to fend off Tooman for this entire race? Or can Tooman regain that first position? How will the likes of OG James 96 do on their mediums? I reckon James could be a dark horse for a podium here. How will Jack Mull fare as well? Going by the race last night, well, any one of James, Jack Mull, or the top 5 could win this race. Of course, Lee is back in it as well, as the safety car is coming in this lap. 16 viewers, thank you everyone for watching. Yes, how is Jaylene Menz going to approach the safety car restart? I expect he'll be backing up the pack as much as he possibly can. But the most important thing, obviously, is that he keeps his tyres warm. They're going to be very, very cold, those hard 1-pound tyres from under the safety car. As he's still not gone, as now he's gone just out the final corner, and we are back away. Because we've got a relatively decent restart as Menz. And he does look safe from Tooman. It's further back, and Massey looks not close enough to think about making a move on Tooman and the top 3. Pole position so far. As now OG James 96 has got a lot better traction on the mediums than LSW Legend, and he's going to think about making a move here. I did say he'd be quick on the mediums in the restart. He's going down the inside. But no, Legend wards off the attack. That's back near the front. Two of the men's playing a bit of cat and mouse game with each other. It looks like neither one of them has used really any ERS. Oh, as Lofty has had a spin. That is a real shame. He is looking forward to seeing how well he did in the softs. As Tooman's had a spin as well. Tooman has had a spin on the exit of the right-hander before the main straight, and suddenly, from looking like the race favourite for the race win, earlier on in this race, he's dropped down to P16. There's now James 96 and Scarborg are battling it out. And James keeps the position, although Scarborg was using a lot of his battery. But now suddenly it's the battle between Massey and Menz for the lead again. It's Tooman, he's got to dust himself off after that spin and try and catch back up. He certainly has a decent bit of pace and certainly can salvage a couple of points yet from this race. It's now the fight for P1 as Massey is still within Menz's DRS, and that is the most important thing here now. Staying within his DRS, and if he can manage that, then maybe trying for a move. This is now turning into a really interesting race. We're going on board with Tooman, and how does his pace look at the moment? Doesn't look like he sustained any damage from his spin. Does look like it was just potential just loss of traction out of that fast right. Dirty air is very annoying there, and yeah, you can see he's lacking a bit of confidence through there once again. Certainly not over yet though. DRS has now been enabled, and Scarborg has got a bit of a bad exit. This is going to allow Jack Mull to try and make a move. Jack started from last, remember, it is now to P6 on the mediums. Capitalises on Scar's mistake to take the position. Though Scar's still going to try and hold it around down the inside of Jack Mull, as Leah's now looking to try and get past him as well. These two have already come together, and Leah's lost the back end on traction in the wall. That's two of our main contenders for this race are out, although Jack Mull and Scar are still battling out, and Scar's had a bit of a spin. He's in the middle of the track, and suddenly Drastic Blaze is retired, and all kinds of pandemonium's going on. There's a safety car now, and, well, another safety car, I should say. Dolphin's gone off. Teddy seems to have got damage. Presumably hit the stationary car that was spun, or maybe hit Drastic Blaze. And, well, I'm not really sure what's happened, but all I can tell you is that there is a safety car again. Hypers is in P8. Hypers is in P8. I said he wasn't out of this race. He's gone from 17th to 8th from the safety car restart, although he has just let Teddy go. Obviously, either an illegal overtake on him or something. Teddy's just driven past him. Speaking of Teddy, he's just picked up a penalty that he is going to be pitting, obviously, for a set of tyres. Softs will go to the end from here. And I wonder whether someone like Tooman will pit as well. Yes, he is going to pit. Doesn't have any damage, but does not hurt him to hit whatsoever, and he should gain quite a lot of positions on these other cars who will have to repair their damage. What tyres did these guys go for? Looks like softs for pretty much all of them, though Jack has gone for the mediums. Leah's having to double stack behind Teddy, that would be painful. Yeah, now suddenly these guys on the soft compound tyres, they will be able to make the end of the race. And boy, are they going to be fast compared to the guys in the mediums and the hards. This race has gone from being quite a quiet affair, said it was looking quite clean, to suddenly suddenly just crash galore, and and all of a sudden Piper's going from last to 8th in about 2 laps. Tooman going from first to last, but now is back to near last, but is now back in the race on his softs. Lear, of course, losing his front wing on a completely separate incident earlier on in that lap that Drastic Blaze retired on. But is now back in the race on fresh mediums. And yeah, Lofty now back in the race as well on his softs. Yeah, this race has been carnage. This race has been absolute carnage in the last couple of laps. So who's going to win from here? As far as I know, Men's, Massey, Barlow could all crash as well. Suddenly, things could change again as Lear is now in for another pit stop, and relatively smart decision. I guess he can go onto a set of softs. He won't lose any positions. Might even have a fresh set of softs available as well. Could be looking very quick on those, could Lear. We'll catch up to the pack, I expect, as it should be out for another lap on top of this one. Yeah, I'd certainly love to see those multiple incidents in the midfield over again, because I know the two stewards are definitely going to end up seeing them, but I'm really intrigued as to what went on there, why Drastic Blaze is retired. Because it looked like two completely separate crashes kind of happened on their own, and one of them brought out the safety car and about 5 or 6 people got damage from it. It looks like Lear is going to catch up to the safety car, and that should mean that the safety car will come in this lap. Yes, it will. So we have 7 lap sprint to the end. Janie Menz is still leading, and I'm sure everyone near the front is confused at what's happening, but when they watch this race back, they'll realise that there's absolute carnage. Menz is getting ready to go. Massey close behind him. And we're away! Massey using a lot of his battery trying to get past Jamie Menz maybe into turn 1. No, he's not close enough. So, think about it for another time. As now Scar Borger has gone around the outside of Hypers. But Hypers is still going to fight back. 2 teammates going at it. With SLR Teddy waiting in the wings as well. Teddy, of course, is on his fresh softs. See what he can do. Can he send it up the inside of Scarborger here? It is Teddy. He'll go for whatever gap's available, but no, he just hits the dead. But he is going to get the possession nonetheless. Scar is trying to hold it for all his might, though. Cannot manage it. As the yellow flag's behind, and oh no, that's Hypers off. Lear's got a penalty. I don't know what's happened to Zach's Beast. I think he's gone off as well. Yeah, he's got damage. Zach's Beast and Hypers are now out with this contention for this race, probably. That's a real shame for Hypers because he was in the points positions. As now Teddy's gone completely off. I saw he was pretty close to Hicklin, and I don't know whether they've come together or whether Teddy's just simply lost it under traction, but Teddy is now round. As now Lofty's pretty close to the points as well. As hang on, there's a battle for the lead. No, there's not. JD Menz has spun. I joke that there could be a crash for one of the top runners, and JD Menz has gone off and he's in the wall. So Massey takes the lead. Incredible stuff in the second half of this race. And now Tooman's back in the points. Wowee, Massey is leading this race as Menz has crashed, I think, at the final corner. Hot tyres, I presume. Is there going to be another safety car? Doesn't look like it. think we're all good. But wow, now suddenly Barlow's in contention for the victory after being pretty much nowhere for the first stint. As the yellow flag, and that is Hicklin that's gone off. That's Lofty up to 8th, Thuman up to 9th. Jack's up to 6th, and he is on fresh mediums. And he's going to lead these guys who are going to be quicker than his top 5. Yes, wow, everyone is indeed doing their best to spin out. They're all taking turns already, some of them before the safety car, some of them in between the two safety cars, and some of them after the safety cars. As the yellow flag in sector 3, and oh, there's another spin. It's only James 96. Oh, he's running in a really good position, but I mean, you could say the same about pretty much everybody, as everyone's just seemingly forgotten how to take well, any of the corners on this track. As LSW Legend picks up a time penalty, he was in the podium positions. But now I'm going to go on board with Thuman, because Thuman looks pretty racy. He's going to maybe try and move on Lofty here. No, Lofty goes nice and defensive. Although Thuman's going to potentially go all the way around the outside. Nope thinks better of it. Yeah, I don't quite know how Lofty and Dolphin are in P6 and P7. And I think, Jester, I think that's the commentator's curse there. You said, come on, LSW Legend. Good points for Mercedes as he just picks up a penalty. Shouldn't lose him too many positions, but obviously not ideal for Legend. As Lofty seems to have losing a little bit of touch to cars ahead of him, although he's just staying in the DRS of Dolphin. Although Thuman does look like Thuman's going to have a pretty decent run. He can use a lot of his battery, but further ahead, Jack Mull has indeed got past LSW Legend and can now seek after going past Barlow and Massey. Jack Mull started in last position and is now in 3rd. That's kind of remarkable. And speaking of making moves, Thuman's gone up to 7th place. This will be some recovery drive this if he can get himself up, maybe even into the podium positions. There's recovery drives from pretty much everybody, it must be said. That's Teddy now sets the fastest lap. He's on his soft compound tyres. There's the yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, that's Dolphin is retired. And there's a safety car. There's another safety car. And, well, this one's only going to last about a lap or so, but Dolphin has gone. And he's going to allow Jack Mull to be able to close right up to Barlow and Massey. And he is going to be on those medium compound tyres. Whew. Ooh, this race has been all kinds of crazy in these last few laps. Dolphin was running in a really good position, but Jimmy just lost it coming out of 1. Well, coming out of turn 2 or 3, I should say, and he's not the only one to do it. He's done it at the worst possible time. He's now completely out of any contention to points whatsoever. Is anyone going to pit under this late safety car, I wonder? Anyone outside the top 10 going to roll the dice, maybe? Suddenly Hypers is back into the points, and yes, Hicklin is going to roll the dice. Did wonder whether someone would pit, and Hicklin's going to try and chuck on a fresh set of tyres and potentially get himself up a few places. But a few drivers ahead of him will, of course, have penalties. So it should get them anyway. But anyway, I don't really know what to say about this race. Who's been your driver of the day? I'll get up the position changes. I'd say Jack Mull, but... And of course he could still get even more than third position here. LSW Legends a decent shout as well. Tooman's recovery drive is a pretty decent one, but obviously he did start in that pole position and lost the positions to begin with. Personally, I'm going to go with Jack Mull for my driver of the day. Interesting to see who agrees. And it's going to be so costly with such a late safety car. Yeah, I completely agree. They're going to lose you out so much as no one's going to have a chance to pull away from anybody, especially considering the slowest drivers on those older tyres are right near the front of the field. But Massey is getting ready for this safety car restart now. Warming up his tyres nicely. All getting everybody away. And he's decided to go now, and he's kind of caught Barlow napping a little bit. As Massey takes us away. 2 laps remaining here as there's a yellow flag, and that is LSW Legend, I think. Legend has had a little bit of a spin out of the final corner, and well, after running in the podium places for the last few laps, is now suddenly completely out of it. Zach's Beast, I think, is gone as well. So many drivers are having incidents, and now Tooman's trying to make a move on Jack. These are the lead runners on the newer tyres. And it looks like Tooman's working his way back up into 4th here. Can he catch up to this top 3? Can he get himself on the podium? I think it's entirely possible. But it is only going to be 1 lap left after this one. There's the yellow flag in sector 2, and that is Hyper's out. Oh, Hyper's running in the points positions, but is now out of this race. But anyway, the battle for the lead, SLR Barlow. He's 8/10 back on Massey, but there will be no DRS on the final lap. So he's going to hope for a mistake from the Williams driver. The Williams driver who came so close to a victory in the first race, but unfortunately missed out due to a late incident. As we now into the final lap. Jack Mull is looking like he's going to put the pressure on Barlow rather than Barlow putting the pressure on Massey. And does Tooman have enough life in his softs to potentially put pressure on all 3 of them? There's already only 1 overtaking opportunity left, and that is at the end of the main straight. Staying on board with Tooman, as Jack Mull does get out of sorts a little bit, and that's potentially going to lose him a shot on P2 and can potentially open him up to being overtaken for P3 as well. It's going to be so tight here at the end. Massey does look like he's got the victory secured, providing any last lap spin or anything. It's all about who's going to get on the podium. Tooman does look like he's going to have a bit of a run here on Jack Mull. He's using a lot of his battery, as is Jack Mull. They're using pretty much everything they have. Does Tooman have a shot at the podium? He's going to swing it around the outside. He does not make it stick, and Jack Mull holds firm. Although there's 1 corner remaining. Can he do it? No, he can't. It's Jack Mull on the podium as Massey wins the race. Barlow comes in 2nd, Jack Mull 3rd, Tooman just 0.03 of a second behind him. Jack in 5th, Lofty in 6th, proving why he should never give up in a race after being last by a country mile earlier on. Hicklin comes home in P7. OG James P8. SLR Leah does pick up a couple of points in P9, and SLR Teddy rounds out the top 10 with Scar Borger, LSW Legend, and Zacky's Beast. The three drivers who are out of the points. Wowee. What an end to the race. Just going to get the drivers who are the podium finishers in the party. As Wowie. What a race. I think Massey's victory really shows, well, he was certainly not the quickest today, it must be said. I think he'll probably admit that himself. But cars were making mistakes ahead of him. He kept it calm, kept it on the road. Kept it in a decent position. And secured that victory. I'm sure Barlow will be very happy with that P2. And Jack Mull will be certainly happy with the P3. Hopefully everyone is going to be able to be heard in the party. Hello. Jesus Christ. As you'll see on the stream, I literally said Barlow will be happy with P2, I'm sure, like 10 seconds ago. Oh no, maybe we aren't going to be able to hear you. That's a shame. Just check back on the stream. I don't think there's any boxes for anyone to tick. So we might have to abandon the interviews. Potentially. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do the doesn't look like we're going to be able to do the interviews. Anyway, I'll say what you're going to say. So talk me through your race, and I'll feed it to everyone. Barlow first. Talk us through your race. You were nowhere for the first half of the race, and then suddenly you were right up there near the front. Capitalise on others' mistakes and come home in P2. Yeah, someone definitely was looking down on. Someone's definitely looking down on you. I guess you've had all your bad karma in the first race, and now bad luck in the first race, and now suddenly it's come around. Just how F1 goes. Yep. So, and suddenly Q3 it went wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry about 50 times it felt like. So, you started a bit lower down. What do you think was the maximum you could get out of this race after the qualifying? Of course, I did think I'm going to pick up a victory, you're going to come together again, but obviously that wasn't to be. Parting of the Yep. Yeah. And the first victory for Williams this season. George Russell will be happy. Yes. Yes, obviously, understandably. Jack Moore has not joined the party, unfortunately, but I'm sure he'll be very happy to go from last to third in his race. Mega drive from him. And yeah. That's all we got time for. Thank you for watching.